The world's top 10 craziest natural phenomena. Blood rain only ranks 9. The first one is like the Thanos of the sky. When it appears, an entire city disappears directly. Blood rain falling from the sky, smoke rising from the ground. You might think this is a scene from a sci-fi movie. Wrong. This is just the crazy daily life of planet Earth itself. From the sky tsunami clouds that sweep across the horizon like apocalyptic tidal waves, to Lake Natron, where falling in doesn't mean drowning, but being turned into a living stone statue. And then there's the supercell thunderstorm, the god of storms, capable of piercing through Mount Everest and flattening cities. This planet is sometimes ridiculously wild, to the point where even science throws up its hands and says, I wasn't prepared for this. Today, join us as we delve into the world's top 10 most bizarre natural wonders, each one crazier than the last. We look forward to your subscription and likes. Number 10. Lake Natron. In the desolate heart of the East African Rift Valley lies a daunting body of water. Any animal that strays into this place, without exception, will eventually become a stiff, cold stone statue, as if gazed upon by the mythical Medusa, its life instantly frozen. The color of this water is even more unsettling. It's like a thick, inseparable pool of blood, intensely exuding the aura of death. This is the River of Death, Lake Natron. The shores and bottom of Lake Natron are perennially littered with the stone sculptures of countless birds and small animals. Some look as if they were drinking water, others seem to be in flight, but all signs of life have been stripped away, leaving only husks covered in a grayish-white, rough, hard shell, standing stiffly, silently telling the tale of this water's deadly power. The reason Lake Natron possesses this petrifying magic actually comes from the nearby Ol Doño Lungai volcano. This volcano is the only active volcano on Earth that erupts lava-rich in highly alkaline substances. The volcanic ash and lava that erupt year-round continuously flow into the low-lying Lake Natron. In this extreme environment, only special red algae can survive. It is the pigment produced by these algae that dyes the lake a startling crimson red. So, what if a person were to accidentally fall into this bloody river of the underworld? The pH of the lake water is over 10.5, making it the most alkaline lake in the world. If someone were to step into it, the strong alkali would rapidly destroy the skin's protective layer, causing a frantic loss of body water and electrolytes. Meanwhile, the supersaturated minerals like sodium carbonate in the lake water would act like quick-drying cement, rapidly precipitating and crystallizing on the body surface. In a very short time, a living person could be encased in a calcified statue covered with a grayish-white mineral shell, forever preserving the twisted posture of their final moment of life. Lake Natron is a land of death co-created by volcanoes and microorganisms. It warns with its blood-colored water, terminates life with strong alkalis and mineral salts, and permanently solidifies intruders into stone statues on its shore. Its existence might just prove that the story of Medusa is not necessarily a myth. Number 9. Blood rain. You've surely heard the idiom, a reign of terror, often used to describe a dangerous environment filled with the scent of slaughter. In it, blood rain means blood falling from the sky like rain. People often associate blood rain with ominous events. But have you ever seen real blood rain? In July 2001, in the state of Kerala, India, a bizarre blood rain began to fall. Blood-red rainwater poured down from the sky. What was even stranger was that this rain continued intermittently for nearly 2 months. This terrified the local people, who truly believed it was a divine punishment, the apocalypse. However, the blood rain itself does not cause direct harm to the human body, but the psychological shadow it casts is nuclear level. Clothes were soaked to look like a crime scene, puddles collected into pools of blood, and the whole world seemed to be viewed through a blood-red filter. This assault on the eyes and mind, and the bone-deep sense of unease, is more real than any disaster movie. It makes you instantly understand what is meant by an ominous celestial sign of great misfortune. Even the most steadfast atheist would feel a chill down their spine watching the sky rain blood. So, Where did this terrifying blood rain come from? Scientists were in an uproar. Initially, some speculated it was a meteorite exploding in the air, its dust dyeing the rain red. An Indian government report denied this speculation, insisting it was red algae spores. But the conclusion given by two scientific mavericks from Mahatma Gandhi University in India, Godfrey Lewis and Santhosh Kumar, shocked the entire world. They claimed to have found strange, tiny red cells without DNA in the rainwater, which could even multiply frantically under high temperatures in the lab. More importantly, these cells were not from Earth, but from distant outer space. This alien life rain hypothesis exploded like a bomb, instantly igniting global debate. The media upgraded the blood rain from a weird weather event to a world-shaking mystery of Earth receiving biological signals from aliens. To this day, it remains an unsolved mystery. Was the blood rain just a thrilling dying game played by nature, or was it mixed with life cells from beyond stars? The secret of the sky may be far crazier than we can imagine. Number 8. Titanic and Forest. Among the towering mountains of Leh County, Guangxi, China, lie more than 20 supergiant pits, hundreds of meters deep and bottomless to the eye. These are by no means ordinary holes, but massive entrances to the Earth's core that swallow time and light. Even more breathtaking is that when you venture down to the bottom of the pit, you are met with a primeval rainforest isolated for millions of years, making you feel as if you've traveled back to the Jurassic period. This is not a movie set, but one of the world's most mysterious and stunning natural wonders, the Titanic rainforest. These Titanic's giant sinkholes are over 100 meters in diameter and range from 200 or 300 meters to as deep as 600 meters. Looking down from the rim of the pit, a wave of vertigo hits you, as if a giant abyssal mouth has torn the earth asunder. But it's only when you reach the bottom that you truly discover an isolated, primeval rainforest. Streams meander at the bottom, caves are unfathomably deep, and there are tracks left by wild animals like leopards, making you feel as if you've stumbled into a Jurassic secret realm. Hundreds of species of ferns grow in layers, and exotic flowers and plants cover the ground. Some organisms may have taken root here millions of years ago. Even an insect could be a species you've never seen before. However, because the walls of these Titanic's are as steep as if cut by a knife, it's nearly impossible for ordinary people to descend to the bottom. Even professional expedition teams have to rappel down hundreds of meters with ropes, a journey that can sometimes take over 10 hours. Therefore, very few people have seen its full picture. For this reason, some call it an isolated island paradise belonging only to the Earth itself. The birth of this wonder stems from the region's special karst topography. Guangxi is located in an area with well-developed limestone strata. Limestone is easily dissolved by carbon dioxide and water, and over time, various caves, underground rivers, and subterranean cavities are formed. As the caves grow larger and their roofs become thinner, they eventually collapse under their own weight, forming giant sinkholes on the surface, which we call Titanic's. The bottoms of these Titanic's accumulate water and rich soil. Sunlight pours down through the vertical opening, as precise as a scalpel's incision, allowing a unique microclimate to form. Thus, an underground rainforest greenhouse gradually develops in this natural theater. For cave explorers and biologists, the Titanic rainforest is a real-life lost world. Every descent to its bottom is a pilgrimage to one of Earth's unsolved mysteries. This is not just a miracle of geology, but a miracle of life. When we look up at this bottomless green well, perhaps we should reconsider that what is truly worth exploring is not just the starry sky above our heads, but also the still unfamiliar land beneath our feet. Number 7. Sky Tsunami Cloud. Under the vast skies of Australia's northern coast, a massive cloud wall, stretching across the horizon with no end in sight, rolls in at a low altitude. It's not a vertical cumulonimbus cloud, but a giant, horizontal cloud tube extending for hundreds of kilometers, as thick as a skyscraper. It's like a runaway sky train or a mythical, churning cloud python, pressing forward ominously just above the horizon. This is the roll cloud, also reverently called the sky tsunami cloud. Those who witness it feel a suffocating sense of oppression, as if the sky is about to collapse and a giant wave is about to shatter the earth. The madness of the roll cloud lies in its world-ending visual spectacle and the doomsday omen it brings. Firstly, its scale is despairingly enormous, with a length of hundreds or even thousands of kilometers and a thickness of hundreds to 1,000 or 2,000 meters, like a living, moving behemoth of a cloud suspended at low altitude. Most shocking is its movement. The entire cloud body rotates steadily and ominously around its horizontal axis like a giant concrete roller, pushing forward unstoppably. The inside of the cloud churns and surges, while its edges are sharp and clear, as if containing destructive power. The roll cloud itself usually doesn't directly bring the most violent storms, but it is often the deadly aftershock left by the passing of a powerful thunderstorm system, or the vanguard of a new wave of extreme weather. Seeing it means that strong winds, heavy rain, hail, and other severe weather may follow closely behind or have just raged through. That feeling of an impending storm, the sky changing color, is its most heart-stopping and insane aspect. Standing beneath a roll cloud, you feel an unprecedented smallness and unease. The sunlight is blocked, the sky instantly darkens, the wind howls, and the air becomes extremely cold and dry. The feeling of being crushed by a living sky monster is enough to inspire awe in the bravest of people. It reminds humanity that in the face of the majestic power of the atmosphere, we are but dust. Number 6, fish rain. It's not strange for pies to fall from the sky, but for thousands of live fish to fall is truly terrifying. Imagine a seemingly ordinary afternoon. The clear sky suddenly becomes overcast, followed by a downpour. But crashing to the ground along with the rainwater are countless wriggling, live fish. Silvery white fish clatter onto rooftops, streets, and fields, the ground covered with their twisting, struggling bodies. This isn't a prank, but a real-life fish rain. In the city of Yoro, Honduras, and its surrounding areas, this bizarre seafood airdrop occurs almost every year between May and July. It's a rare phenomenon, arguably nature's #1 crazy express delivery. Although there are sporadic reports of animal rain around the world, such as raining frogs or spiders, the fish rain in Yoro, with its relatively stable scale, high frequency, and near-annual occurrence, is unique in the world. It has even become an annual event in Yoro. Whenever the fish rain arrives, local residents go out with buckets and basins to collect the fish, taking them home to cook immediately. This matter-of-fact attitude makes it seem as if the fish falling from the sky are not a natural anomaly, but a free dinner delivered on time by God. Children cheer and chase in the streets, while the elderly pick up fish and chat. The whole town is filled with a daily routine that is somewhere between a festival and a miracle. So how do these fish get into the sky? Science offers a convincing explanation: waterspouts. When a strong thunderstorm forms over a lake or ocean, the violent updrafts can develop into a waterspout connecting the water's surface to the clouds. It acts like a high-speed, rotating sky vacuum cleaner. Its funnel at the bottom powerfully sucks up the water below, and large numbers of fish and water are lifted from the surface and drawn into the vortex's violent center. As the storm cloud moves, the tornado acts like a high-altitude transport plane carrying its living cargo inland. When the waterspout moves over land or loses energy, the suction disappears. The fish and water droplets that were carried high into the sky lose their support and fall to the ground with the rain, creating a fish rain. When the sky becomes a fishery and the land a fish basin, we truly feel the power of nature, which doesn't even need to borrow wings to deliver life. Number 5, undersea black smokers. Imagine, in the eternally dark, freezing depths of the ocean thousands of meters down, the earth suddenly splits open with wounds. From these cracks, scorching hot, dark brown, thick smoke, laden with toxic minerals and as hot as lava, billows out with a roar, like the exhalation of a hellish beast. These plumes are not real smoke, but a deadly torrent of superheated seawater and mineral particles that instantly solidifies in the bone-chilling deep sea into towering, chimney-like deposits. These are undersea black smokers. They stand in the dark ocean floor rifts, like the gates of hell opened in the most desolate place on Earth, emitting the stench of sulfur and spewing a bizarre torrent where destruction and life intertwine. The madness of black smokers lies in how they subvert the basic laws of life, creating an oasis in a hell's cape. There is no sunlight, only eternal darkness. Bone-chilling seawater near freezing point clashes violently with a deadly hot current capable of melting lead. Toxic substances like hydrogen sulfide and heavy metals permeate the environment, an extremity that could be called the closest thing to hell in the solar system. The black smokers themselves are constantly growing and changing mineral sculptures. After the ejected hot fluid meets the cold water, the metal sulfides within, such as pyrite and chalcopyrite, rapidly precipitate and accumulate, like a self-casting dark tower. Some can grow to tens of meters high. What is most mind-bending is that in such a harsh environment, this is not a dead zone, but is teeming with bizarrely shaped creatures. Blind shrimp swarm through the hot currents, armored crabs crawl on the sulfides, and there are strange clam beds and microbial mats. There is no photosynthesis here, yet a prosperous and unique dark biosphere has formed. So how does life revel in hell? The answer lies within these creatures. Giant tube worms have no mouth or digestive tract, but instead cultivate symbiotic bacteria inside their bodies. These bacteria provide nutrients for the tube worms, while the tube worms provide shelter and chemical raw materials for the bacteria. Blind shrimp feed on the exposed parts of the tube worms, and armored crabs, in turn, feed on the blind shrimp. An incredible food chain, completely dependent on geothermal chemical energy, is thus established. Humans reach this hellish, toxic world via deep-sea submersibles, facing the dual challenges of an extreme environment and a fragile ecosystem. Every discovery of a new black smoker ecosystem is like landing on an alien planet, revealing the astonishing limits of life's adaptability. Number 4. Brinicle Death Icicle. Beneath the frozen surface of the Antarctic Sea, in the frigid abyss, a pale, twisted, giant finger of ice continuously extends downwards, piercing towards the dark seabed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Wherever it touches, starfish, sea urchins, and other seafloor creatures are instantly frozen, transformed into ice sculptures in various poses, as if lightly touched by the finger of death, all life stolen away. This is not science fiction, but a deadly phenomenon that truly exists in the polar seas. The brinicle, also known as the ice finger of death. It is nature's most ruthless and cold, freezing weapon, forged in the deep cold. The brinicle looks like a giant, inverted icicle or a twisted stalactite. Its surface is covered with a fragile, porous ice sheath, while its core is a deadly tumor of extremely cold, highly saline brine. It grows downwards from the bottom of the sea ice at a speed of several centimeters per minute, greedily reaching for the seabed. Wherever it goes, the relatively warmer surrounding seawater is rapidly frozen. Seafloor creatures unable to escape are sealed alive in the sharp ice within seconds to tens of seconds, preserving their final living posture, creating a chilling underwater ice sculpture graveyard. Along its path of expansion, it creates an absolute death zone in a short time. No life can escape. It is the ocean's version of Medusa, but its petrifying gaze is swifter and more deadly than turning to stone. So how is this icy god of death born? When new sea ice forms on the ocean surface, the freezing process squeezes out most of the salt. This extremely concentrated, extremely cold brine is very dense, and like viscous, poisonous blood, seeps from the bottom of the new ice, gathers and sinks. As this super cold, high salinity brine sinks, it rapidly draws heat from the surrounding seawater. This causes the less saline seawater enveloping its outer layer to freeze instantly, forming a fragile ice shell. This ice shell acts as a mold, guiding this toxic flow to continue extending downwards. The icicle thus grows like a living thing, freezing everything in its path as it sows death towards the seabed. Wherever it reaches, the seawater temperature plummets, and countless benthic creatures unable to escape are instantly frozen. Life's permanent pause button has been pressed. Although it is nearly impossible for humans to encounter it in the deep sea, witnessing this silent, efficient, and indiscriminate force of nature that strips away life delivers a profound psychological shock that reaches the depths of your soul. Number 3. Volcanic lightning. You've seen lightning in a rainstorm, but have you ever seen thunder inside a volcano? This isn't a movie special effect, but a real natural wonder: volcanic lightning. When a volcano erupts, a scorching plume of ash shoots into the sky, carrying countless particles of ash, rock fragments, and water vapor. In this violent, colliding storm, a massive number of particles rub against each other, releasing astonishing electrical charges. And so, lightning tears through the thick smoke, like heavenly fire bursting from hell. This phenomenon is known by scientists as a dirty thunderstorm. Unlike the familiar lightning from thunderstorms, volcanic lightning doesn't require rain or ice crystals. It can generate its own electricity simply through the friction of volcanic ash and rock fragments. As the charge builds up, it is suddenly released within the ash plume. With a crash, a bolt of lightning flashes, like nature's fuse being lit in lava. The most famous volcanic lightning event occurred during the eruption of the Fuego volcano in Guatemala, where dozens of lightning strikes were recorded per second. And during the 2022 Tonga volcanic eruption, scientists detected the most intense lightning frequency ever recorded in human history. This is more than just spectacular. The appearance of volcanic lightning often means an eruption is in progress and can even serve as a warning system. By analyzing the frequency, brightness, and duration of the lightning, scientists can deduce the height of the ash plume and the intensity of the volcanic activity. It is both nature's warning bell and a visual feast. The fury of the volcano and the wild dance of the lightning together weave one of Earth's most primal scenes. Number 2. The boiling river. Imagine, deep in the lush, hot, and humid primeval rainforest of the Peruvian Amazon, a river as wide as a 4-lane highway and nearly 6.5 kilometers long is churning and roaring, sending up a sky-blotting white mist. As you approach it, a wave of heat hits you, and the air is thick with the strong smell of sulfur. If you put your hand in the river water, you'll be instantly and severely burned. The scalding water reaches a temperature of 93.9 degrees Celsius. This is by no means a hot spring, but a river that is, in the truest sense, continuously boiling. It can easily cook any animal that falls into it. Fish, frogs, and even monkeys that accidentally fall in are boiled to death within minutes. This is the boiling river, a phenomenon that has left both explorers and scientists dumbfounded. Locals reverently call it the hell soup that flows through the heart of the Amazon. The madness of the boiling river lies in its complete subversion of our understanding of rivers. It is one of the most incredible death zones on the Earth's surface. The appearance of such a massive, extremely hot, and continuously boiling river in the heart of tropical rainforest, far from any known volcano, is in itself a fatal challenge to geological common sense. Witnessing living animals struggle in the churning, boiling water before being silently cooked is a visual and psychological impact no less powerful than looking directly into hell. The remains of scalded animals can sometimes be seen on the banks, silently testifying to the river's deadly ruthlessness. Although scientists have offered mainstream explanations, the precise mechanism of its heat source and how it sustains its energy remains shrouded in mystery. How is it formed? Where does its energy come from? Why can it boil continuously? The Earth-Fisher and Geothermal Accelerator hypothesis is currently the most accepted theory. Scientists generally believe that in specific areas of the Amazon rainforest, the Earth's crust may have deep fault zones or weak points, like wounds on the earth. When rainwater seeps into these wounds, it's like being sucked into a giant underground heat exchanger. It seeps down to a position abnormally close to the Earth's mantle heat source and is intensely heated. The heated water becomes high-temperature, high-pressure hot water, which then rushes upwards at incredible speed and pressure along specific fault channels or fissure networks. When this scalding torrent finally breaks through the surface and merges with the relatively cooler surface river, the immense temperature difference and pressure release cause the water to boil and vaporize violently, forming this unbelievable, continuously rolling, boiling river in the rainforest. The boiling river is Earth tearing a secret wound in the unknown folds of the Amazon rainforest, allowing the scalding blood of its core to gush out and form a river. With its reality-defying boiling state, it cooks life far from any volcano, turning a corner of the rainforest paradise into a steam-filled death zone. This rushing river of hell's soup is perhaps the most shocking and awe-inspiring roar from this planet's deeply hidden, fiery pulse in the silent jungle. Number 1. Supercell thunderstorm. At dusk on the North American Great Plains, a black cloud wall over 50 kilometers wide comes crushing in at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. Its top breaks through the troposphere, reaching a height greater than Mount Everest. At its base hangs a giant, rotating funnel 5 kilometers in diameter. This is no ordinary storm. It is the most violent, ultimate killer weapon in Earth's atmosphere, the supercell thunderstorm. When it passes, baseball-sized hail can smash through roofs, tornadoes with winds of 400 kilometers per hour can level towns, and chain lightning strikes 20 times per second, illuminating the night sky in a deathly white. This is the Earth's atmosphere's most explosive, living storm engine, a doomsday furnace burning in the heavens. At its core is a vertical vortex 10 kilometers in diameter, like a giant hydraulic drill churning the atmosphere. The characteristic wall cloud at its base is a death notice, signaling the imminent outbreak of extreme weather. The anvil cloud, spreading from its top, can cover an area of 400 kilometers, equivalent to the distance from Beijing to Jinan. Why is it so terrifying? Because it is a perfect storm engine. Warm, moist air and cold, dry air collide like positive and negative poles, and strong wind shear twists it into a rotating machine of death. The updraft speed reaches 260 kilometers per hour, capable of repeatedly tossing water droplets to freeze them into grapefruit-sized hail. Even more terrifying, it can sustain itself like a perpetual motion machine, raging for over 6 hours. If you are unfortunate enough to encounter it, the sudden drop in air pressure will cause severe pain in your eardrums. The sound of hail hitting the ground is like machine gun fire. The shriek of the tornado can tear asphalt roads into shreds. The supercell thunderstorm is the symphony of destruction forged by Earth's atmosphere, throwing water, fire, wind, and lightning into a centrifuge. When this 100-kilometer-wide hurricane in the clouds rolls over the plains, we understand that humans are merely tiny, lucky spectators surviving on the surface of a violent planet. And what boils in that celestial furnace is the most primal, untamable fury of nature. Which of these 10 craziest natural phenomena in the world scares you the most? Tell me in the comments. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. See you tomorrow for more global superlatives.